He lived higher than the clouds, where the pine trees thinned and the wind spoke louder than people ever had. Elias Boone was known in the valley below as the mountain man who wanted nothing from anyone. He trapped, hunted, and traded just enough to survive, descending into town only when winter gnawed too close to his door. Folks whispered about him, about the scar that pulled one side of his mouth downward, about the way his left leg dragged from an old logging accident, about the silence he carried like a second coat. Widows noticed him first. They came dressed neat and hopeful, bringing pies wrapped in cloth and smiles meant to soften grief. Pretty women with careful hair and practiced laughter lingered near him at the trading post, inventing reasons to speak. Elias answered politely, briefly, then turned away. He did not look twice. Not because he was cruel, but because he was tired. Tired of eyes that measured him, voices that pitied him, kindness that came with expectations. So when he noticed Clara Hale, it surprised him. She never approached him. Clara sat on the steps outside the cobbler's shop, needle moving steadily through thick leather. Her dress was plain, her hands broad and capable, her hair pinned back without decoration. She took in mending, boots, coats, sacks, anything worn and torn. People spoke of her softly, if at all. Some called her invisible, others were less kind. Elias first noticed her because of his boots. They had split clean through the sole after weeks of hard mountain travel. The cobbler had shaken his head, said it would take time. Clara had simply nodded and reached for them. She did not look up at Elias. Did not ask questions. Did not stare at his limp or his scar. She turned the boots in her hands with care, as though they mattered. "Be ready tomorrow," she said quietly. That was all. When Elias returned, the boots were stronger than before. Reinforced, warm, the stitching careful and exact. Clara handed them back without a word, eyes lowered, already reaching for the next pair in her pile. He felt something tighten in his chest. The next week, he brought a torn coat. Then a ripped pack strap. Always she worked in silence, never lingering, never smiling to be noticed. And yet, she listened. When he mentioned the cold creeping earlier than usual, she added extra lining without charge. When he mentioned long climbs, she strengthened the seams where weight pulled hardest. One evening, snow threatening early, Elias paused beside her as she worked. "You do good work," he said. Clara hesitated, then nodded. "It keeps things together," she replied. He watched her hands. Strong hands. Steady hands. Hands that fixed what others discarded. As he turned to leave, Elias realized something unsettling and true. For the first time in years, someone had seen what he needed, without being told, without asking for anything in return. And high on the mountain, as the wind howled around his cabin that night, Elias Boone found himself thinking not of the widows with their bright eyes and hopeful smiles, but of a quiet girl on a wooden step, mending boots in silence, who somehow made the world feel less broken.